Assalamu alaikum. In the past 3 years, I started 4 different businesses. They all failed, I had haram in it, so I had to give it up. Except one, that alhamdulillah actually took me to 10k a month. And in today's video, I'm revealing to you exactly what the business model is, how you can start it on your own without buying my course, and I'm giving you an exact blueprint that you can just follow. And trust me, this is not dropshipping, not SMMA, nothing weird. It's actually halal. Stick till the end, you're gonna blow your mind. Before we get to the actual business, let me show you that I'm actually legit. I'm not just trying to sell you my course like all the other gurus. What makes a good business? There's actually an extra point here, but I didn't even want to mention it, is that the business must be halal. So if the business is not halal, it's related to gambling, related to some 18 plus madness, if it has music, that's haram. You can start a war in the comments if you want. Just look at the official opinion of the shuyukh and you'll know if it's halal or not. So now that there's a war in the comments, let me actually get into how you can know if a business is good or not. I'm trying to prove you I'm legit. I'm not just trying to push you my course. So the first thing a business needs is actually to be accessible. If you're a beginner, you want to get into business that actually helps you make money quickly. You don't want to start learning everything left, right, and center for like a whole year and then you can only start making money. For this one, for example, I'm advising you to avoid things like e-com, Amazon FBA, because you need to learn so many things. Actually, you need to learn how to run multiple businesses. In order to run an e-com store, for example, you need to know marketing, product delivery, service delivery, management, so many things. It's a whole mess. You don't want to get in there, right? So you want to find a business that is accessible to beginners. The second criteria is actually competitivity. You want to start a business that there are not 50 other people in your neighborhood starting this business. Here, I'm talking about the classical drop shipping. Even if you buy the stock, you make it halal, it's a whole mess. SMMA, things been out for like 2015, it's a whole mess, right? So you want to start something that is a blue ocean that you can start, make money, and then scale up, right? It actually takes me to my third point, is that you want to start something that is profitable. You want to start something that when you make 10 grand, you're actually left with kinda 10 grand. When these guys say, oh, I made 100 grand with e-com, they're left with like 8 grand. Like, what is this? You make 10 grand a month with your e-com store, you're left with like $1.5 grand. What is that? Minimum wage? You just, like, you took away 10 grand from people, which is super hard to do, getting 10 grand to only be left with like $1.5 grand. So when I get something that is profitable, 60, 70, 80% profit margins, which is usually achievable with service-based business. And the last point is that you want your business to be scalable. So again, things like SMMA, for example, super competitive. It's kind of profitable. It's kind of accessible, but it's not scalable. Usually when you start getting 3 to 4 clients, your life is a mess. You can make a lot of money, but it's not scalable. You cannot stack up clients until you die. Like you have to run so many things for so many people. It's just a whole mess. So now that I trashed out all the businesses that exist on earth, I'm gonna just push your mind so you can buy my course, right? Just kidding, but seriously, what should you do? So genuinely, you should start an influencer marketing agency. What is an influencer marketing agency? It's basically an agency where you help influencers get brand deals, and you also help the brands like NordVPN find good influencers so they can spend money and get good return on investment. That's all you do. You're a middleman between brands and influencer, right? And let me explain you why it's actually the best business. Remember the first point with accessibility? Well, you all use YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or at least one of them, and you have kind of like a fried brain with all the things you're watching, right? You spent actually maybe a few years using these social media. You have so much knowledge about them, but actually don't do anything with it. And that actually can help you start your influencer marketing agency. So Ayub, why is IMA so accessible to beginners? Well, to be honest, you already got the training you need. The training you need is spending time on YouTube, spending time on TikTok, spending time on Instagram, watching videos, learning about influencers. That's actually what you do for fun. And you can use this fun as your training to start an IMA. That's the first point. Reason number 2 is that this business is super straightforward. I explained it with 2 sentences and you already got it. You see all these influencers talking about sponsorships, talking about brands, and you know they're getting paid to do that. So that makes sense. There are no 50 other contingencies and you know, you gotta get it shipped from China and then you gotta do cold calling. Like there's nothing weird. It's you see this brand pays this guy. So if you get this brand to this guy, you get paid commission. That's it. Super simple. Point number 3 is that you're actually just a middleman. You're not doing any actual service delivery. You're just connecting influencers and brands, and whenever they work together, you get paid commission. They work once, you make money once. They work 50 times, you make money 50 times by just connecting them once. And the last one is that you can actually get paid fast. Allahumma barik. In my mentorship, on average, guys who join and work 4 hours a day take about 3 weeks to sign their first paying clients. Allahumma barik. The record is set at 12 days. Allahumma barik. Moving on to competitivity, and I'm gonna move a little bit quick because I want to get you to the blueprint so that you can start your own influencer marketing agency, inshallah. But let me know, how many people have you heard talk about influencer marketing on YouTube? How many gurus are selling the courses on how to start an influencer marketing agency? Well, nobody. But now tell me, In the past month, how many sponsorships have you seen? You cannot even name them. You saw so many on TikTok, on YouTube, on Reels, left, right, and center. Guys are getting paid all the time. Literally all the videos on YouTube you see, either a guy selling his course or he's getting sponsored by a company. So there's money that is being made everywhere, but just no one is talking about it. And here I am to do so. And just letting you know, connecting one influencer to one brand can change your life. On average, deals are between $1,000 and $5,000. Your commissions are between 20 and 40% most of the time. So that means worst case, you're making $200 per deal. Base case, you're making $2,000 per deal, literally on every deal. Allahumma barik. That can change your life. And also, there are more than 400,000 influencers on YouTube that have more than 100K followers. There are over 40,000 influencers that have over 1 million followers on YouTube. See how insane that is. 1 in 40,000 can change your life. And you tell me this is competitive? Where's the competition? Number 2, related to competition. You know that marketing in general is shifting towards organic marketing. Don't you see those TikTok shop? Don't you see those YouTube affiliate things? Everyone is literally starting to work with influencers. No one is running ads anymore. No one's running TV production shows anymore. None of that. Everyone is going towards organic marketing. It's the fastest growing marketing avenue in 2024 and it's expected to double by 2030. Allahumma barik. So literally here, you're jumping in a blue ocean that's already good and untapped and it's becoming even more untapped. There's even more money that's coming in and less money that's going out. It's insane. And to prove this point, just ask yourself, if tomorrow you were to start a brand, a clothing brand, whatever, what is the first way that you're going to market it? Let's say you start a gym clothing brand. Are you really going to go on TV shows and ask people to wear the shirts and everything? No. Are you really going to go to the radio and ask them to promote your thing? No. What are you going to do? You're going to go to your favorite gym influencer that could wear the shirt and tell him, hey bro, do you like the shirt? I'm willing to give you the shirt for free and pay you X amount of money for you to talk about it. This is organic marketing. Even you yourself, you know it, that if you want to promote something, you'll go to influencers because it's a new way of marketing in 2025. Look at Mr. Beast. Even B2B companies like Shopify pay him millions of dollars per video to just talk about the services. Even himself, Allahumma barik, that has an audience of so many people, kids, adults, everyone, he's getting so many partnerships for millions and millions of dollars per video just because his audience is huge, Allahumma barik. So this market is literally untapped. Moving on to profitability. It actually takes no capital to start. You're basically going to send email to influencers, email to brands. Once they respond, connect them, send them your PayPal, get paid. That's it. There's no other contingencies. Maybe it's going to cost you £10 if you want to buy a domain and have a cool name on your email, but that's it. The profit margins are actually closer to 100%. I wrote 70 to 90 because when you're going to scale, you may have employees, you may have payment processing fees, but that's it. You're closer to 90-95 profit margins because basically once you get paid, what expenses do you have? You paid your domain for £10, that's it. Now, whenever you get paid, you pocket the money. Simple. You don't have any product to ship, you don't have any storage to pay, you don't have any warehouse, you don't have anything to pay. You just connect people, get paid, pocket the money. That's it. Last point, and I promise I'm giving you all the sauce so you can start your marketing agency. How scalable is an IMA? And to be honest, it's scalable left, right, and center. Let me explain you. The first thing you can do when you want to scale is get bigger creators. So let's say you just close your first deal for an influencer that has 200K followers. He charges $5,000 for a video. You just took 20%. You just made $1,000. Congratulations. The next thing you can do is get a bigger creator. Get a creator that has 1 million followers that charges $50,000, and then instead of making $1,000, you're making $10,000 on one deal. Or you can keep your influencer and get bigger companies. So now you show them that the first deal worked, and instead of charging $5,000, you can charge $6,000, $7,000. And your influencer, you can show him, you just made him $4,000 and you can charge a bigger commission. Okay, now I just made you $4,000 and I charge 20%. Now I'm gonna charge you 25%, 30% and keep going up. Third way of scaling it is selling retainers. So basically, let's say your creator made one video for a brand that was a one-off video. Now you can tell them the video was awesome, you got good results, we loved it. We can actually do 2 videos a month from now onwards. That's it. You only send that email, you sign the contract with them, the influencer is gonna get to work, you're gonna get paid on every single video that the creator is gonna post, and you're not doing anything. You already did the connection, you already signed the contract, you don't have anything to do. You worked once, you got paid forever. And also, just to summarize everything we said, there are 2 other key points. The first one is that here, since you're not doing service delivery, you're not tied to how many clients you get. You can handle so many clients. Allahumma barik. Some agencies manage hundreds and hundreds of clients having 1 or 2 employees. Allahumma barik. You don't even need to stack up all these clients like SMMA, have 1 call a week, have this and that, and it's a whole mess. You actually just connect people, they sign contract, and then you're not tied to the service delivery anymore. You sign contract, move, sign contract, move, and you keep on getting paid every time. Allahumma barik. And the second point, Allahumma barik, is that there are so many agencies that make different types of money. So I know personally, Allahumma barik, people that make $5,000 a month working a chill agency, working 1 to 2 hours a week. I also know another agency making $500 million a year running an IMA, Allahumma barik. They're literally doing billboards on New York, all the influencers on Instagram, they're literally managing half the influencers you know, they're making $500 million profit per year running this business, Allahumma barik. So if you're scared of not being able to scale high enough, well, you just have the proof here. So now that you're fully convinced that IMA is the best business model to start in 2025, don't waste time. You can directly apply to my mentorship below and I'll guide you step by step for 90 days, giving you all the sauce to replicate my results. I made over 100 grand within my first 6 months of starting, Allahumma barik, and you can just copy me. Link in the bio, fill it till the end. Someone will get in touch if you qualify. If you ain't got no money, let me give you a quick blueprint so that inshallah you get your first money, so then you buy my course. So now, step number one, you want to pick your niche. Which industry are you going to work into? You need to narrow down the influencers you're going to focus on and also narrow down the brands you're going to help, because that way you know what you're talking about. When you go to a brand, you're actually an expert in that niche. So how do you pick a niche? You simply open YouTube, watch what the algorithm shows you, summarize everything, and that's your niche. If 5 out of 10 videos you watch on YouTube are about productivity, then that's your niche. Simple as that. Don't overthink it, close YouTube and go to step 2. Only thing though, make sure the niche is halal. And obviously that means avoid the gambling, 18 plus madness, all of that music, you already know it. But that also means I advise you to avoid these 3 niches. Fitness, because most people don't cover their aura, you can easily fall into sins, you don't want that. Finance, people can promote crypto, people can promote haram things that have riba in them and you don't want to get into it as well. And also the last one is gaming. Super easy to fall into sins with gaming, so much music, it's a bit of a mess to navigate it. And you can actually pick so many other niches: tech, productivity, fashion, health, education, lifestyle, home decoration, construction, so many niches that are actually halal and that you won't have a headache dealing with it. That's cool. Moving to step 2. Step number 2 is getting influencers. And before that, you probably have so many questions. Why would the influencers trust me? Why would they pay me? I'm not an agency. I don't have none of that. It's simple. You're just an add-on. They have no risk working with you. So that means since you're only getting paid on commissions, if you don't bring anything, you just wasted your time. They didn't waste anything. They didn't pay you. They didn't pay you up front. They don't have any risk on the end. You're carrying all the risk. So you just let them know that you only get paid once you bring them something, and that's cool. So now, how do you get influencers? So open up YouTube and based on your niche, you start searching using keywords. If it's productivity, then you're gonna watch productivity, morning routine, how do I sleep better, how do I not get tired, how do I get work done, all these kind of criteria, and you start finding creators. And you actually have 3 criteria you want to look for. You want to get 20 to 30 influencers that have between 100k and 1 million followers, so that they are big enough to make money, but they're not too big to already have an agency and be a home base to deal with. And the last point is that you only want influencers that get 50k views per video minimum. So take the last 10 videos, add up all the numbers, divide it by 10 and see how many views they get. If it's less than 50,000, trash it out, because this influencer won't make you enough money. And the reason for that is because you're getting paid commissions. And on average, 50k views get paid between $500 and $1,000. And your commission is on average between 20% and 40%. That means you're either gonna make between $100 and $200, which is not really what we want to do here. We wanna make 10 grand. You can't really stack up that many clients when you're starting out to make 10 grand making $200 per video. So the minimum is 50k views per video, so that the guy charges enough money so that you can make enough money on commissions. Once your list is done, you actually want to email them, simply letting them know what you can offer, what they can get from you, and asking them for a percentage of any deal you bring them. When you're starting out, aim to get 10 to 15%, just so you can get a deal, and then you can use this case study to get a bigger influencer for 20 to 25%. Once this is done, get another influencer for 30 to 35% and keep the ball rolling until you're getting 40-50% commissions. Make sure you start small because you just want to get the ball rolling. Don't get greedy when you're starting out. Once you closed 2 to 3 influencers, move to step 3. What I mean by closing influencers is very simply, once they agreed to pay you a percentage, just make them sign a contract that says within a certain time frame they cannot go and work with the brand directly behind your back. Otherwise, they're just gonna backstab you, not pay you commissions, and you just worked for free. That's not what you want to do. So close 2 to 3 influencers and move to step 3. Step number 3 is actually the last step, is where you start making money. Is you're gonna go and reach out to brands to offer one of the influencers that you closed. And to do that, super simple. Where do you find brands? So do you remember the list of 20 to 30 influencers you created? Go back to this list, open them all up and watch the last 30 pieces of content that they posted. And on each of them, you're gonna see there's a high likelihood that there's a sponsorship. So whenever one of these influencers work with the company, take the name of the influencer, take the name of the brand, put them in a separate sheet. So you go, you open your list of influencers, the 20 guys, open each of them separately, watch the last 30 pieces of content on each influencer. That's about 600 videos. And on all of these, write down all the partners. Write them down and then email them. Very simply saying, hey, we just saw you work with this guy. It was awesome. We also have a guy that is super good. Would you like to work with him? Simply then negotiate the price and get going. The key here is to send a personalized email. You're just gonna show the brand the value that they can get within this influencer. And to do so, you just send them, hey, just so you worked with this guy, and you show why this guy was good, and then you make this guy relate to yours, and it's super simple. And here, you may have questions, why would the brand trust me, whatever. Here, you're not even using your social proof. You're leveraging the influencer's social proof. You're just going to the brand and saying, hey, I'm reaching out on behalf of this guy, I just represent this guy, and here you may have another concern. Why would that brand trust me? Why would they pay me? Like, I'm no one, I don't have any experience, whatever. Well, there's a pro tip. You're not using your own social proof here. You're going to them saying, I represent XYZ influencer. I'm reaching out on behalf of these guys. So they're not checking who you are, they're checking who this guy is. You're representing the guy. When you want to buy an iPhone, what do you check? You check if the iPhone is good. You don't check if the guy who sells the iPhone is a good guy. You don't really care. As long as he can get you the iPhone, you're good. Same thing with these guys. They don't really care who you are. As long as you can get them the deal done with the influencer, you're good. And now, simply close the deal. Send them the price of the influencer, negotiate a little bit, do some Aikido, and close the deal. Congratulations, you just made your first money online. Now that you started making your first money, you're making a few thousands a month, it's good, alhamdulillah, but we want to scale, we want to get to 10, 20, 30K a month. How do you do that? It's very simple. You use your case studies from your first influencer to get bigger creators. So you got one guy maybe that 100K, 200K followers. Now you want to get a guy that has 500K, a million followers. And once you got a guy for 1 million followers, use the case study to get a guy with 5 million followers and keep the ball rolling. You're going to make even more money. The second thing you can do is for the first brand that you close the deal with, once the deal went out, once it went well, you upsell them for 3 to 5 times bigger deal than the first one. So if the first deal was 5K, your commission was 1K, upsell them for 20K deal and you're going to make 4K. Alhamdulillah. And the last point is increase your commissions. You started making money for your influencer. He got paid so much so that now the equilibrium of the equation is not equilibrated anymore. He owes you more than what you owe him. And basically here, increase your commission. Ask him, do you want to go from making 20 grand to making 0? Or do you want to keep it going and only make 18 grand just because I make a little bit more? Which one do you choose? Do you want to make 0 or do you want to make 18 grand? The IMA model can honestly be scaled in so many ways. Just like I showed you here, and there are so many other ways. But trust me, if you just want to get to 10 to 30K a month, use this, it's more than enough. So now, if you want my personal help starting your own influencer marketing agency, I have a mentorship program. We guarantee we get you to 5K profit within the next 90 days, or we refund you fully. You can apply to the link in the bio. Someone will get in touch if you qualify. And by the way, if you think I'm another scammer, another guru, just here are some student results from last month only in Allahumma barik. You can see Razon closed a $1,200 deal within 12 days of joining the mentorship, Allahumma barik. Tani, Allahumma barik, who made 3K profit within 30 days of joining the mentorship, Allahumma barik. Abdul Aziz, my first student, Allahumma barik. He's now making 2 to 3 grand a month, working 1 to 2 hours a week, Allahumma barik. He's completely unfocused on the IMA. He's focused on his exams. He's a full-time student. He's still making 2 to 3 grand a month, Allahumma barik. He just applied what we taught him and got money in the bank. Alhamdulillah. I could continue on and on and on with the student results, Allahumma barik. But now ask yourself, do you want to get it? Do you want to get it faster? The offer is a no-brainer. Apply with the link in the bio. Assalamu alaikum.